Good morning and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, depending on where you're watching from. I am JR, your host, and this is Foreignless. I want to thank you for everybody that has been part of this journey with me. And I also want to thank you for the new followers that are listening to me right now. I hope you guys enjoy this podcast, and if a lot of things don't make sense throughout the podcast, please pop into the last episode, which was my first time coming to the States. Today's episode's about misunderstood wildchild. And as you will hear in this episode, I will not always speak about my childhood. It's because I still feel like that wild child inside. Maybe not as broken and as emotionally damaged as I was as a kid, but would I take a piece of plastic and ski down this hill because it's fun? Yeah. I still feel like a wild child. So, where does this story begin? The story begins at a time where there was no stress, where I was young enough not to care about kids that bully me or things like that, because I had a great life. We were in a very good situation. My mom owned a bar in Simonstown, and apparently everybody knew me in town with my little tricycle, with my red wagon, and I used to drive around and go collect my pizza and go to the beach and surf and all catch snakes and scorpions and in the backyard, and it was a good time. There's a little bit of a gap memory loss from that time until my mother married my stepfather, which was my first father figure in my life. Now, Alan was an angel of a man. He treated my mother well, he took care of her, he didn't abuse her, which stuff I've seen in front of my eyes happened to my mother before she met Alan. I even smacked a guy with a 4-point ball hammer when I was 4 years old on his foot because he had my mother by the throat. 4 years old, standing up for your mother. If my mother was here today, I would do the same. And that is probably going to sound a little bit hypocritical when I go into the detail of my childhood, but you guys need to know one thing. It takes a lot to really forgive, to really set the boundaries of, I don't want the past to intervene my future with my mom. So the last few years of my mom's life, I did everything I could to heal and mend. But we will get to that. We will get to that very quickly. Now, as a child, knowing my stepfather, we would be playing marbles in the garden. We would be running around playing touchies. And it was such a good time for me to be a kid. One night there was an incident. There was a shooting down the street. And of course, I woke up and I'm on my way to the kitchen. Don't know why. And bullets start flying and the window starts breaking. And my mother is right there and my stepfather is right there. And they drag me to a safety, like a brick wall safety area where we can be safe. Now, someone was robbing the people across the street and they had a shootout, right? And my mother couldn't take it anymore because that was the second time it has happened in the 3 months that we stayed there. Now, my stepfather was very motivated to his job and he didn't want to move, which I did understand at the time. And my mother, she completely moved so far away where it couldn't save their relationship. I don't know what happened after that when, my mom ended up becoming says a sister. As I said, my mom become gay. So strange, here I am, I think grade 5, grade 4, and everybody knows. So of course back in that day being gay was so taboo, was just frowned upon, and then you even couldn't get married as a gay couple. So as a child, I got punished for my ma's actions. Oh, your ma's a lesbian. Now I have these Christian children, and teachers kind of, I know the teachers never said anything, but after that come out, I could definitely see that some of them had a different aspect, or the way they treated me. But now you have these kids that know nothing, and they are the ones telling me I'm gonna burn in hell because of my mother's sins. It's like, who the are you? Okay, at that time, of course, I never knew the word, and my mother had a very strict rule. Only person allowed to swear in this household is me. And I used to go to my friends and put money in the jar because they swore. So it was a very shitty situation to be in, that I was just a kid and I just wanted to live, you know. I was bullied because my mother was gay. I was bullied because I was circumcised. And let's just get this one thing straight, and not very weird in this conversation. It's not a common thing to be circumcised in South Africa. All right? So you are being teased and called a Jew and all kinds of shit, right? Not only was I bullied because of that, not only because I was small, I was physically bullied to do things that I didn't want to do as a kid. You tell me what would have happened. Here I am, young. I don't know. I'm just scared. And at that time, with my mom being a lesbian, with the most awful bitch I have ever met in my whole life, how can an adult brutally abuse someone that's not even your flesh and blood? And you have someone so manipulated to look at their child and not realize they are crying for help. Now, that was very straightforwardly said. But to give you guys an example, I had this stupid rule in my household that if a job isn't done correctly, I get 2 shots. Okay. Now my scenario today is one out of so many, but I use this one specifically because I think it makes the most sense of it all. At the time, we were breeding with English bulldogs. Now, I think I was grade 5 at the time, grade 6 at the time. I'm 13, 12 years old. And as I said earlier, me being in the boarding school and being with my friends, I never went home because of this woman. It was the reason why I never wanted to be home. And if I did go home, was forced to go home eventually. So after all my chores, when I get back after Friday night at school, go home. Now, my mom and her partner was working most of the time, and then I would come home and there would be a mountain of dishes, probably the whole week's worth of dishes, and the kennels needed to be cleaned and stuff like that. I did everything, and hopefully I got done before Saturday afternoon. Then I can quickly go to my friend for the afternoon and maybe sleep over if I was allowed, if I did my job right. Now, from where I was staying at the time was about an hour's walk to my buddy's house, and I didn't have a lift, so I walked. I got there, we finally just got there, and at the time we had like an emergency cell phone. I just got there after 4 hours of having fun with my friends and stuff. I get a call, you better get your ass back here right now. It's like, okay, what did I do wrong? I said, Did I ask you for?" And she started cussing, and I was like, I'm sorry, I'm on my way. I was so shitless scared of this woman, right? Now, I get there. All 4 kennels have 1 to 2 piles of poop and a pee here and there, and we had a little miniature pony that had 3 acres to walk on, 24/7 open field. That would go walk into his stable and shit in his stable. Now, I don't know about you, and this is the part where I kind of rocked my brain for so many years, realizing, was I just being a retard? But this wasn't my fault. Do you think a dog won't shit for 2-3 hours just to help me not get a hiding? So I got a hiding for each and every kennel that wasn't clean enough, according to her. So out of the 5, I got 3 kennels that she wasn't happy with. I got 6 with a hose pipe. And that's not the only thing this woman used to beat me with. Now, this is where the hypocritical part comes in, that my mother knew what was going on in my life. And this lady was so smart. Every time she saw she was going to lose, my mother, she would play her cards so well with me and manipulate me into believing that things are better. Things are gonna change. You Americans call it narcissism. Never heard that word until I kinda married my wife, to be honest. I knew what the word was, but I've never heard it so much. But nevertheless, I think a lot of Americans are narcissistic of the stories I've heard from females. But I digress. Now, here I am in the situation. I'm being physically and mentally bullied and abused at home, and then I have to go to school and be bullied further. Now, I ask you the question. If you were one bully in school, and you will probably feel guilty by the words I used today, but if you knew what that kid was going through in his household, would you have gone through with the bullying? I unfortunately know about too many situations where kids take their lives because of their household situations, where they are maybe, or abused, or just parents that don't give a shit, alcoholic people that I say this again, everybody's poison is taken differently. A lot of situations were worse than mine, but here I am, a teenager, trying to do the best I can. What do you do in a situation like this? Do you stand up to someone like this? I tried. It was the biggest mistake in my life. She hit me with a fist right in my face, kicked me twice before I could run away. And you know what? 3 hours later, when I came back, she apologized to me and still gave me the beating for running away. Now I wonder, the misunderstood wild child I was, I wonder if it makes more sense now that the word's out. I shouldn't have been here today, guys. And I have only two things to thank. Things meaning people, and things meaning my sports. I was very blessed to be a very good sportsman. I had scholarships for multiple sports. I played cricket, I played rugby, I played hockey, I swam, I was a part of the athletics team. It was at the time I did choir. I know choir's not a sport. I did chess. There was so much activities I did to keep myself away from home. It makes me wonder if anybody really knew. I know my friends tease me a lot, and I understand that now today we are men now. We give each other shit, you know. But even now, myself, if I overstep from a man to another man, he can tell me, okay, the line is drawn, and I respect that. As kids, kids are ruthless, and now today's kids are ruthless and have no manners. Now imagine that. Back in the day, if you didn't show a little bit of manners, you would get a cabbage ear from your mother. And a cabbage ear is smack that ear, and then it becomes a red cabbage, you know. I wouldn't dare. Even here in America, people ask me, why do I say aunt and uncle? That's just a respect thing. My mother would turn around in her grave if I disrespect the elderly. You know? So saying that, knowing that my mother's girlfriend was older than me and I still had to respect her, I went through this for quite a while. The day when it was final, my brother from another mother was there that day. And I have never been so close on hitting a woman in my life. Not only was that one bully in school, that a chick. Yeah, I had a chick for a bully. And I understand now why I actually stayed in an abusive relationship with one of my ex-girlfriends now. You know, it kind of hit me like a rock. Now I understand why I stayed in that relationship. But here I am being yet again abused by this lady because me and my mother, we moved out of the house, right, into the little apartment on this piece of acre lot. And I wasn't part or in the conversation they had. So here I was doing what my mom asked me, to build a fence and to move some stuff around. All I know is my belongings are still in that house. So I go into the house through the back door to take my TV and my bed out of there and put it into the apartment. While me and Ray were busy doing that, we continued building the outside cage for our set of breeding dogs. And all we hear is a car coming swerving in, and it's just brakes. And the one thing that hurt me the most that day is that her brother was there with her that day. And he was like my idol. Me and him were always together. I loved him as family, you know. And she got out of that car. Who the fuck do you think you are, stealing my stuff? And I was like, what? I don't know what I did. And she smacks me. I was like, so at that time, she smacks me. I step back. Second time she smacks me while I'm trying to explain this is my stuff. I lost my shit. I stood my ground firm. She slapped me a third time. I never went anywhere. She tried to push me. She went back. She swung a fist at me. She hit me right straight dead flat on my mouth, staring her down in her face while she's yelling at me, while my brother is standing there watching this happen. He looks at me. I look at him. I look down to a shovel that is not too far from me. And all I hear in my head is my mother's voice saying, Jean-Ray, don't. Somehow I knew she was on her way. I guess Ray called her immediately. Ray tried intervening. She was willing to physically hurt a 16-year-old boy for standing up for his friend. Now, if that doesn't tell you a lot about a person. Both ways. The amazing good friend Ray is, and I say is because he's still one of my closest friends in the world. I was so angry at my mother. Yeah, sure, she stood up for me that one time. And it was finally the end. After 6-7 years of abuse. I ended up telling my mother enough now. She wanted to move again and I had to go with her, and I said no. I stayed with Ray. With permission from my family, of course, because everybody wanted me to go up to the north to my grandfather. And at that time, I didn't want to. And then Ray and they moved. His family packed up and moved. And that was where I really saw the value of good friends and good parents. Wonders if would have my life been so fucked up as a child. My mother was a good parent. When she wasn't manipulated, she did the best she could. But I saw what my best friends' parents were doing. I saw how they cared for me. Weekends when I never wanted to go home and I had to sit there while the school had this father and son weekend, sitting there all alone. I was never alone. They took me in and treated me like their own child. Andre, Williams, your parents, Lewis, Jan, Arnold. Just give me a second, guys. I just want to... I want to continue with these names because I want them to know that there's a part in my heart that I will love forever. And you guys are that part. Because if I didn't have you, I am very fucking sure I wouldn't have sat here today. I mentioned some names now and I said I would like to continue. If I said Raoul's name before, Chris Marie, Tarin, Yasminka, Kiki, Pauli, Henry, if I missed anyone, I apologize. It's been years since I spoke to anyone really. But having them in my life, the amount of gratefulness I can never show. I don't know how to ever show the gratefulness I have for those people when I was a kid. And as I was saying, and I digress again, so Ray's family packed up and moved, and I ended up trying to fight my family, and everybody told me to go up to my grandfather, which I don't regret at all, because my time with my grandfather, I used to go every holiday and go to my grandfather and go work for the holidays with my grandfather, which was a blast, But now moving there was a completely different thing, because now I have to say goodbye to people I grew up with. I spend more time with those friends of mine in those years that I ever spent time with my parent. So yeah, I am a guy that does believe that the whole blood is thicker than water. It's bullshit. I've heard some very frightening stories, and most of those stories comes from family. You can choose your friends, you can't choose your family, or vice versa. I don't know. But I ended up going to the school, become the total rebel. I had to leave 2 subjects. I had to leave civil engineering and graphic designing for physics and electrical engineering. Now, the time when I moved, I was a year and a half behind with both of these subjects. I did pass my final year. Very strugglesome. And yet again, if it wasn't for my Tani Mandi and her perseverance and her patience with me, I would have never made it through school. I don't think I would have finished graduation. I don't think I would have graduated, and it wasn't because I was stupid or anything. Remember, one thing. In my previous high school, I had all 60s and above. For someone that was more interested in sports and didn't really study much, having 60 as an average was pretty good. Where civil engineering was 80 plus, EGD was 80 plus, and graphic designing was 70 plus. My other subjects were and for some reason my English was better than my Afrikaans, but English was the second language, where Afrikaans was a first language. So not only am I in this hard school shit program, now I have to make friends again and all that. Luckily in this school, I really made a name super fast myself. Like, first 2 weeks, I'm in a rugby team that plays against like the first team, the team of the school of the year. And here I am, brand new. All the guys are kind of pissed off that this new guy got the spot. And guys, just deal with it. I was maybe just a little bit better than you. And you know what's funny? I went from number 2 hooker to number 7 and 6 overnight, and it wasn't my choice. The coach, I don't think you should play hooker. And I played super lovely rugby. My next year, everybody knows I was benching for the first team, right? I'm gonna tell you a little secret. There was a reason why I benched and didn't start. A lot of people won't agree with me, because the only person that could vouch for that conversation I had with a certain person, I'm not gonna, if I say this person, if I even point out, you guys can immediately know. But my grandfather was the only person that was in that discussion, that I told him I was not going to give up my second team captaincy to be in your team. You had your chance in the beginning of the season, and you dropped me because of a... Okay. I'm not gonna go in that because everybody knows how the school propaganda works, right? But played some good rugby. Ended up being a cheerleader for that school too. Everybody knew me, everybody loved me. I could get the school riled up. Guess what? We won the athletics, like cups, all of it, for the introduction as we came in. Legends of awesomeness we were. We did the kung fu fighting. Yeah. Yeah. Something like that. I remember something like that. We beat the drums, we flipped. I don't think we flipped, but we did pick up some girls, stuff like that. We won it all that year. First time in 5 years. The group that was, I think the group the school chose, I don't think there will ever be a better group of people. We had Shanae, I know we had Shanae, we had, I can't remember her name. She was, I think she was a grade lower than us. But we had Benny there, we had Moses there, we had our lovely Ntabiseng there, we had Anthony. Now, me and Ntabiseng, we never saw eye to eye in this school in the beginning because she was very prerogative about it. She said, man, you're a nice looking white boy. And then at the time, I didn't like her statement, so I told her to off, and she lost it. And she said, you better you boy. And when we became cheerleaders together, we were inseparable. Me and that was my favorite girl in school. There was a time I had some problems with one of my exes, and she slapped me, and Ntabiseng grabbed this chick by the hair, and she's like, you stop your shit right now. And I had another lovely, amazing lady friend. Her name is Bernice. She also kind of stood up for me in certain circumstances, which, yet again, but so one of my girlfriends, she had a knack on slapping me. And in that time, of course, as you know, the trauma I've been through, it's not really, and in that time, until today, here I am standing today, I have never raised my hand for any female ever. Now, Tabazimbi was a very rough time. I got expelled for drinking from the in the boarding school. So I stayed with my auntie Mandy and my cousin. Speaking of cousin, guys, I need to take a break real quickly, and I'll get back to you. Guys, this is a 5-minute music marathon. I want to play a tune for you guys. Now, today's lovely artist is one and only my cousin, Diart Erasmus. Now, guys, I grew up with him, stayed with him. Knowing the kid I saw and seeing the man I see now, I am so proud of this guy. This music marathon is for you Americans to get a taste of our South African music culture, because we are so rich in so many different ways that you guys have no idea. So guys, please listen to this song. Go to Spotify, follow Diart Erasmus, and leave a comment down below with a music sign and a thumbs up if you guys love my cousin's music, because he gets a music sign and a thumbs up every time, not just because, but it's this genre he's using. It's just like, But I leave it up to you to be the judge of that. Guys, welcome to Antisocial. See you in a bit.
I'm so tired of these awkward talks, staring eyes like I'm in a box. Anxiety will be the end of my days, and my mind will be stuck in this up haze. I was looking out the window when I texted my phone, tagged in a memory of a love I used to know. She's smiling ear to ear while I'm at my low. I make the wrong joke. Shaky voice like my lungs, always coughing up smoke. So I talk, try to miss the false notes. Hey, I'm so tired of the lads on the stage, but I've been scared of eyes since a very young age. To escape, I confess where the melodies ring, and I talk, try to be the new thing. I'm so antisocial, just trying to be hopeful. I'm so antisocial with you. I'm so antisocial, just trying to be hopeful. I'm so antisocial with you. I'm so antisocial, just trying to be hopeful. I'm so antisocial with you. I'm so antisocial, just trying to be hopeful. I'm so antisocial with you. I'm so antisocial, just trying to be hopeful. I'm so antisocial with you.
Yay! Guys, that's antisocial for you with DRT Erasmus. This doesn't feel right. There we go. Nice. Guys, as I asked you guys, give my cousin a follow there. And yeah, love his music. Love it. And as I said earlier, guys, if you are a music artist out there, upcoming, going on, reach out. I would love to put you guys on the 5-minute music marathon. Alright? So, guys, we were... so Tabazimbi. I ended up finishing school there. I ended up... What did I end up doing? I ended up going to work for a welding company, a smaller welding company, not too far from Tabazimbi, in a little place called Northam. On your way to on the old path to Rustenburg, there's a place on your right hand side, Hollow Civils. Now I welded for them for a while and stuff like that, and then of course South Africa is up in the top, up in the north. The mines start closing, and the Chinese bought the mines out, and everybody got retrenched. Last in, first out. They kept all the old guys, which is totally unacceptable. But now here I am without a job. Man, ended up going down to Cape Town to my ma, and we started our own traveling thing, my ma and I and her boyfriend at the time, which I absolutely despised, and it was just nonsense. We had so much shit and drama, and I just ended up not wanting to deal with that shit anymore, and went up to Ray. Me and Ray started working together and staying together, and then from there he left, and then I left. I went... Well, while we were working and this is where I met one of my exes. This is the chickie that kind of was very abusive. There was a time where my boss had to ask me to choose between her and my job, and that was kind of at the end of our relationship, kind of towards moving to the end. 6 months in, we get into our first fight, and I realized, okay, now she slapped me, so she kept on slapping me, and I guess we were drinking, and so I chalked it off at me making her angry and the drinking. 2.5 years later, through a lot of abuse, that day my boss called me in. I have scratch marks and I have a bruise over my face here, and And here she is, still looking like a doll, like a Barbie doll. Fine, small, little, tiny little thing. Ended up had to having a real chat with her, telling her, listen, yeah, you're gonna have to calm down, because I'm gonna be very straight with you, but I'm not gonna go through this whole venture on searching for a job again. We've been doing this a while now. I've got a good job. I've got a possibility here to grow and become something and provide for you. It went well for a month or so, and that last time it all. Me and her got into the fight, and she slapped me a few times, and next thing is next. I just had enough. I turned around and I walked away while she was talking to me, and apparently that was so disrespectful. She felt the need to run to me and hit me with a fist. I saw that coming. I'm just glad she didn't aim for my face, because the previous one hit me with a fist and she broke her hand on my forehead. I don't know what it is with me with abusive women, apparently. Oh, doesn't my childhood explain a lot? So I ended up saying enough is enough. I grabbed her, pinned her down to the bed. We had some wild. And it's not like she stopped me. She wanted that. That's how we rolled. We used to fight and have makeup back and forth like it was out of season. That was it. The last time after I was done, after she was done, I told her, you better pack your shit right now. I'm taking you to your mother's in the morning. I called her mother 2 o'clock that same night, and I told her, ma'am, I think you need to accept your daughter tomorrow morning. I'm bringing her back. I can't deal with this anymore. I was going to lose my job. We did see each other on and off a few weeks apart from a time to see if we can't fix it, and we would get together at this nice Red Hot Chili hotel, and we would just spend the whole weekend in there, or we would never do anything. And it started becoming poisonous for me, and I told her I can't do this anymore, and I never saw her again. And yeah, I ended up being for a while single, and then I met little lovely person. She didn't deserve. I didn't deserve her. She was way too good as a person for me. My buddies and them, they thought we were the longest rebound ever. You know, she was. I think I could have done that a little bit better, our breakup and things like that. But there was me working away from home and all those things, and her staying behind, and us not really. We didn't need to be together. Like me and we had no. It was not a sexual relationship at all. I think, and I respected her, and she respected me. What I went through, and we ended up breaking it off, and then I met the other ex, and it sounds like I have a lot of exes. Anyway, so yeah, working, resigning from the tea farm and moving into the electrical business after going to Malawi and things like that. That is pretty much when my roots finally started getting to, okay, now I'm really wanting to go to America. Every year I apply with just like this. And then my last year I really put in effort, because hey, my girlfriend was at the time, she was American, so why not? I can come work here, she can come visit me. If I travel after my season, she travels work, so it was convenient, No, it just didn't work out. Now I'm married to a lovely wife. We are also still learning a lot of things in our relationship. We suck at the long distance relationship thing, but we are determined to work on where we need. Well, I know I am from my side. I'm not speaking in her behalf. If she realizes there are things she wants to change for the better of our relationship, then she can do so as she pleases. I'm not there to tell her what to do, what to say, when to do things. I try not to in times, but I'm not perfect. I never thought of myself being married. Everybody, all my buddies that haven't met Heather, wants to meet Heather and see the person that has tamed the wild child. But you're real funny that you think I'm tamed. It's called, what do you call it? I don't know even what's the word. If anyone knows the word for an so here I am, guys. My wife knows the things I've been through as a child, and I know the things she has been through as a child and in her past relationships. And that's why I have a very taste in my mouth about American men. Is although I have been through some domestic violence situations myself, and it took a lot out of me as a man to say it, because it really takes the soul out of a man. If he knows he will never hurt a woman, but she is able to hurt him without repercussions. Now, any abuse is wrong abuse. If it's verbally, mentally, physically, whatever kind of abuse there is, it's wrong. I know not everybody is perfect. But what that motherfucker did to my wife when they were married, I'm very glad me and him do not. Well, I pray and hope to the big guy up there that me and that guy never cross paths. Because while my wife is in my aura, any man or anyone, anyone, call me the white Will Smith. You keep my wife's name out your mother mouth. Okay? I don't care if I don't know you. I don't care if you don't know my wife. I don't care. First of all, she's a female. You treat females with respect. I know I'm not perfect. I have disrespected my wife before, which I don't do a lot. People get angry and people make mistakes. We all are learning. Being a husband is not fucking easy. It's not easy, guys. But if you really want to, the sky is your limit. Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up, Guys, I'm pretty on the down end of this episode. There's not really much to say before I made the move to finally come the first time to America. The journey to that point has been a curse, but a blessing. A nightmare, but a wet dream. I don't know what you guys think a wet dream is, but it's not being the bed for us. Okay? So, and I know that, as I said before, and I reiterate this part, everybody takes their poison differently. Please remember that the next time you decide to react towards actions, because every action has a reaction, and if that action is shitty, you cannot be upset with the person to have a shitty reaction. But that's a different conversation for a different day. I thank you guys for your time, your support, and love, and advice, and feedback. And I'm looking forward to the future, guys. In the next 6 to 9 months, I truly believe my podcast could be on the rails to the success I would like it to have. I don't have a timeline. I don't have a time frame for you guys. All I know is I'm doing this because I actually it feels like I like doing this. It feels like the old me, you know? And I can't wait to have my first guest on the damn couch with me. And which is sad, because the damn couch is not coming with anymore. We were gonna be sitting in the swamp. Maybe on a poof. You guys don't know what a poof is. It's a beanbag. I love a beanbag. Imagine a little roof, mosquito net, 2 beanbags. Yeah. Well, I guess I'll have to officially say that Foreignless is a traveling podcast. I know there was something specific I wanted to say at the end. Oh, so guys, I'm thankful and I'm grateful. I do not know what episode 4 is gonna be about. I have so many options. And I know by asking this soon in my podcast if you guys would like to listen to something specific. I guess that is just social media these days. But to all the new followers, thank you for taking the time and listening to my blah blah and my personal life. Definitely after episode 4 or 5 we will be moving away from that area of telling you more about me. That was the basic premises of my podcast, for people to understand me before we head into this. So you guys have a little bit feel of where I come from, what I've done to survive. And I would love you guys to reach out and tell me your story. If you end up taking a little holiday and you are in the vicinity of South Carolina in the next year, reach out, send me a DM. I'd love to have you on my show. Tell me how where you started, where you departed. Tell me your adventure and tell me what's next. Quick thank you, special little thank you. Let me just make sure this thing is still rolling. I am pretty on the end of my podcast and end of battery life, guys. But just a little thank you for the people with the feedbacks. And I'm talking positive, negative feedback. Any feedback for a person like me right now is, I love it. I feel that I have grown since the first episode because of the good, positive and negative feedback. But I also want you guys to remember, if you do give people feedback, just make sure you understand the situation of who you're giving feedback to. Alright? You wanna know why I'm doing it? Why I look like this? Why I do it out here and not in the comfort of my home? I have multiple reasons. It will probably not make sense to anyone, because everybody is just like, how society is. It's my way or the highway, and I give you fine. Thank you for your feedback, but my presence in front of this camera is my indaba. If I decide to stay like this, even if my podcast upgrades, you think I don't need this? Fine, you're right. I don't need that. You're 100% right. I can be fancy. I like all the other fancy podcasters. Yes, I can. Maybe I don't look right, huh? Maybe. What about now? How about now? You like this? Does this work for you? Maybe if I shave my face. If that's the feedback that people are gonna give me because of my appearance, I don't give a shit. I never did. Kind of agree with that. Emma Watson recently said is something about just because you are rich doesn't something just because you're rich you don't need to wear expensive stuff and blah blah blah. And the big picture, it says that you have a family to take care of. I love the way I am. I love me as I am. But I do appreciate your feedback. Yes, I wear very cheap clothes. Even if I'm rich, I will not buy expensive clothes. Why do I need expensive clothes if I have a family to provide for? I have a future to build. Fancy clothes, I don't know, maybe in today's life fancy clothes gets you further with fancy rich people, but I beg to differ. I like to still be myself and be successful. I'd never want to be rich. I just would like to be well off. I think there's a big difference. But guys, little thank you, of course. I really mean it. I am trying to just be real. Trying to do this that I'm doing with what I have. So, here I am, saying thank you again for your time, your effort, and please leave a comment down below. If whatever, just leave a comment. If you feel you can resonate with my story, leave a comment. Reach out. If you think I'm talking bullshit, reach out. Let's have a conversation, not an argument. These days, people don't have debates and conversations anymore. It's more of an argument, It's more of a you say, I say situation. You're wrong, I'm right. It's not bygones be bygones. Maybe someone has a different opinion because they went through a different situation, Maybe someone has a addictive personality and the other one doesn't. The other one doesn't quite, I don't know, Doesn't understand the mindset of a person like that. But like-minded people will see and recognize like-minded people. Addicts will see and feel addicts. Emotionally damaged will feel and see emotionally damaged. Happy will see and feel happy. But it's hard. It's hard for someone to see and to have empathy with someone if you have never been in those person's shoes, or you don't have the same personality as them. So guys, don't judge appearances. Okay, donkey, bye.
Touchdown, buzzer beater, do it all now. Ball now, top corner talking home run. Touchdown, buzzer.
Maybe I should do judging a book by its cover. because I wanted to show you guys something today. Maybe this is a credit. Maybe this little part I will make a credit. Okay.